welcome back to another episode of Choppin It Up Raw. I'm your host, Abdul the Barber, and today, man, we got a fucking guest on today. My dog, goddamn Pierre. What's up, bro?
Good, boy. Good to see you, man.
Goddamn,
Appreciate it.
finally got your ass on here,
Finally
dog.
made it happen, man. Football calls in Japan, man. Yeah, we're trying to make it work.
Let's go, bro. Let's
make it go, man. You know, so finally get to talk some ball in front of some cameras and, you know, get this thing talked up and chopped up, man.
Yeah, man. Let's do it, bro. So, you know, I brought you on just to rap with you, man. We always be talking and shit. And I just wanted to get you on and, you know, talk some shit, man. Talk some shit. By the way, the Eagles will, I mean, you know, 7-1?
Yeah, they're going to make it work, man. I'm rooting for the Eagles. I'm a Hurts fan, man. Had the opportunity, you know, get over to Alabama, introducing myself. I coach football, American football out here in Japan for the Fujitsu Frontiers. It's a pro league, or pro team in the X League, which is the pro league in Japan. 6-time champion with Fujitsu. Brought a bunch of American guys over. Had the opportunity to coach here and be the offensive coordinator for the team the last couple of years, and we've had a lot of success. So anytime I'm, you know, here at the shop, we usually talk football. With my background coaching in the U.S. On the West Coast, the East Coast, been all over the place. So and going back to the story with the Eagles, so we normally with our team we take the Japanese coaches to the U.S. every year, and then we'll do research and development. So we'll visit either the top teams in the country that year, the top national championship team or Super Bowl team that year. So years past, we've always went to Alabama with them being, you know, of course, the top team, my home state. Being from Dothan, Alabama, I got to shout out to, you know, Roll Tide. Even though that's not my school, I didn't play there. I played at Middle Tennessee, but I still roll with the home state team. But we would go visit Alabama, and then you saw the transition with Hurts and then Tua, and the I guess you call it adversity, but what he went through as a player and how he stayed 10 toes down as a player, and enabled himself to get to the NFL through Oklahoma outlet, through transferring, which now the transfer portal is crazy, and then ended up with the Eagles and now taking them to the Super Bowl. Last season I was out there in Arizona for the Super Bowl, but just his manifestation as a player and as a man, it's hard not to root for somebody like that, man. So when you say you're an Eagles fan, it's pretty neat because, again, his backstory and who he is as a player, that's all you can hope for as he gets that chance to take that team to the next level.
He's doing it. He done it once. I mean, you know, they had the hiccup in the last year, but this year, man, we
right there.
We in there, bro. We in there, man. So, aside from that, man, you've been in Japan now, what?
This is eight? Really going on now. Yeah, let's say 8 years,
Before we go on, let's back up a little bit. Did y'all hear what he said? He said he got 6 rings. He's 6 ringing it. It's a Jordan number, right?
We trying to Tom Brady him, Jordan him, and everybody, man. They gonna keep paying them bills. We're gonna keep winning them championships, man. That's how we see it.
Man. That's some, congratulations on that shit,
It's a blessing, man. No, it's a testament to the guys we brought out here. So I was actually brought out by one of my former players. I coached at Louisiana Tech. Kobe Cameron started all this whole thing off, man. Kobe was a prolific quarterback out here in the X League, played for us at Louisiana Tech University, went on to the NFL, out to the Carolina Panthers, didn't really get a shot. So that's what the X League is for, in my opinion. You can go to Canada, play in the CFL, where it's a little bit different football, or you can come to a place like Japan or even Europe, to those secondary leagues and build a foundation. And also, we've had guys that have built families out here, man. But Kobe was out here, had success. Opportunity popped up for them to hire an offensive coach, American coach. He put the call in to me right away. I was, you know, kind of, hey, what's this deal in Japan, man? I don't really understand what's going on. Company flew me out, gave me like a 2-week kind of orientation of what goes on here, and I fell in love with it, man. And at the time, I was leaving behind my kids and, you know, situations back at home, and it was a tough break. But, you know, they say God puts your blessing right in front of you. It's up to you to take it. So I jumped on the opportunity to come out here, man, and hit the ground running. We had success. That first season, actually, it's a funny story. We actually lost to Panasonic in the championship game my first season here. So I was like, damn, am I the reason? You know, what the hell? They brought me out here and we lose. And then the next couple of years, we started to roll, man, and it's been success ever since then. And had the opportunity to bring guys that I've known through the coaching realm out to Japan as well, and give them an opportunity. The guys that may have went to the NFL didn't get that chance to, have that next step or earn that contract in the NFL. I said, hey man, called JoJo Mathis, a kid guy I coached against that played at the University of Washington, brought him out here. Michael Birdsong actually came out as a quarterback for us from Marshall University, and then we ended up signing Samaje Grant, who played I coached against, who was at Arizona University, and then Trayshawn Nixon, and then which a lot of these guys Adi Emi, because funny story, Abdul actually, man, he our first year here, we were all looking for barbers. Man, I'm looking rough right now, actually, Carl. I can't take my hat off.
I'm gonna get
we were looking for barbers, man, and we came across the stuff, man. We got in contact with him. I will never forget. He's like, man, I'll travel. This is at the time you didn't have the shop.
Right.
Man, just looked out for the whole squad. And, in the U.S., we used to, we got the facility and the barber comes to the grounds and cuts our hair there. And, so it was kind of felt like home, man. And that relationship me and you built back then, just with the teammates. And then me and you, it was just like, it was a neat deal, man, just to kind of start that. And now years later, we're here now, man. Look we're up here with microphones in front of us, man. So it's been a really interesting and intense change for me just to see your growth and manifestation to what you've become now.
Thank you,
man, it's a blessing to be a part of it, man. Like I said, and we always talk and again, be sitting here doing this and it's neat, man. It's really
Thank you, man. Hey, likewise, bro. I mean, I didn't see, when you first got here, I was honestly, man, when I had first went out there, man, I didn't even know. I didn't know what to really expect.
Yeah.
And when I got there and you was explaining like, oh, we play football, I had no clue there's football in Japan, bro.
Sure.
I was like, what?
Yeah, nobody
really?
does, yeah.
And it took me forever, and I finally had got to a game. I think it was that game that was
in Kawasaki, right?
Yeah. And man, I was like, man, I was blown away. Like, damn, this is, and it's fast paced like college, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, this is exciting, bro.
Yeah, man.
This is definitely exciting, but we've been on this journey together, man, and I've had a blast, bro. We got so much to do, so much more to do, man.
For sure.
But so by you being here in Japan, aside from the football, the football realm, right? What has been your experience just living here, your daily basic, stuff that you've been doing, in your free time or what have you?
Well, again, for me, a lot of what I do revolves around football or football players.
Right.
My introduction to Japan came within the athletic realm of everything. So when I first got here, the guys that I congregated with or hung out with or went out with were typically either coaches or players, from my team or other teams. And so, as you know, within Japan, man, there's so many sub-cultures.
Yeah.
Like if you like punk, there's an area for you to go here. If you like shooting BB guns against people, there's a place in Akihabara you can go. If you like hip hop, you go to this spot in Shibuya. They're gonna have artists and all this stuff. So I kind of got a taste of Japanese subcultures as well as the subcultures that a lot of the football players like in Japan from the U.S., which again was a hip hop scene. Getting to see that, man, and seeing different DJs in Japan that were slapping tracks from 3-6 from back in early 2000s that I would not expect to hear out here, in Japan, to seeing different things, man. So for me, it was kind of a, whoa, what is this? Something you wouldn't expect. Just like you say, I didn't expect to see football out here. Well, there's so many subcultures that I'd never expected to see out here. So they in my opinion, for people that want to be in Japan or come to Japan, don't feel, closed off because, okay, I might like this or I'm interested in this. That you'll find it in Japan. Somewhere you will find whatever you're looking for here.
I think a lot of people that hadn't been here, but well, now you have the internet, but like somebody that's, that wants to come here, they may not, or somebody that's ignorant, and I feel like we use ignorant in a derogatory, but it just means, you don't know. But Japan is not primitive. I feel like a lot of people that's especially from the hood, they think it's not like, how they would expect things. But really, like, bro, this shit is just as advanced as, in some aspects, Japanese people can be socially behind sometimes.
Yeah, for sure.
But, that's another topic. But I think people have fun here. Just, take that leap, take that risk, and come out. and you enjoy it.
It's crazy, man. Going back to football, which I always do, but when I first got here, I didn't realize. So what happens in the X League for the Japanese guys? So typically in Japan, you start playing football at a young age, just like we do in the States, but you're playing flag football, which again, this next Olympics, flag football will be introduced. And Japan is going to be really good. Japan will be, mark my word, when this, comes out and they see this later on, the Japanese team is going to be really good. Now, I'm not saying they're going to, if the NFL lets Tyreek Hill and Mahomes go, ain't no way. Japan getting 50, 60, 100 dropped on them. You know what I'm saying? Hey, it is what it is. I'm riding with my Japanese folks. We right there, but Tyreek and the boys going to, mop them. But what I was going to say is, so those guys play flag and then they go to, which is crazy to me, like when we go to high school football, they go to touch football, which is full padded football, but they're running out there, and I mean, it's like literally touch football.
Right. Wow.
So that was the craziest thing. But then from that point, they'll advance and go to whichever college they want to, and the college level plays college style football, just like in the US. So now this is where it gets cool. From that point, the company teams, Panasonic, Fujitsu, there's Lixil, there's IBM, all these companies, the company type teams will come in and say, hey, you're an engineer, you're going to school to be an engineer. We want you to play linebacker for us, but we'll give you a job in our company as an engineer, or we'll give you a job in our company in sales. So this is a catalyst for them to say, okay, I have my job now, I have my career, and I'm doing what I loved all my life. So whereas in the US, exactly. In the US, if I went to Middle Tennessee and I'm a wide receiver there and I finished my degree, I'm going to use that degree, but my honest hope is that I can make it to the NFL. But the NFL is going to give me a big check, a contract. We're going to give you a big check contract with this job you're going to work, but you're also going to play football. So a lot of people don't understand that aspect of it, but it's so neat to watch our Japanese guys. So they go to work on a daily basis, just like typical salaryman in Japan, but their time and investment is going to be within that football team and program to hone in their craft and, to practice and strength conditioning development, nutrition, all those different things they have to do on their own while being a salaryman. And, senpai kohai, you have to go out and drink with the bosses and, do those types of things.
I got a game tomorrow.
I got a game tomorrow, but my boss wants me to go to this izakaya. So it's the craziest thing, man, because the Japanese lifestyle for salarymen is completely different than anything we can experience in the U.S. And then on top of that, our guys have to play football. I just hats off to them, man, because again, to be able to do both those, manage both those schedules is unreal. So that those kind of draws for me, again, in Japan, just create this just craziness, man, that I'm still trying to understand.
Wow. I had no clue that they, it was a package deal. I know you told me some of them work for the company, but I thought it was just, okay, they got this job and then they just so happened but it's a whole package deal.
We're recruiting those guys to come with the
That's pretty ingenious, though.
That's
pretty ingenious.
It really is, man. And now just looking at it, if you look at the company, if you look at the top tier structure of the Fujitsu company and other companies as well, a lot of those football players from early on in the early 90s, late 80s that, went through the company now have went into top positions.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so we'll have a lot of actually this game we play a game tomorrow, our game against IBM, both the president of Fujitsu and the Japanese president of IBM will be at the game.
Right.
So they're really hands-on when it comes to a managerial standpoint, because those bosses were some kind of way involved with that team in the past. Whether it's the director of human resources or different sectors, they have ties and opinion towards football because they played when they first came out of college as well for the team. The league's they've been playing football since 1985, man.
What?
Yeah, so Fujitsu's team's been together since 1985.
God.
Yeah, so I've been here now. This is what I said, my 8th. So I've seen bosses in the company from different sectors that have come in and that have retired. You know what I'm saying? That were there back then, and now they've gone on and retired throughout the company. And just hearing their stories, and it's been neat, man, just to see it, because for them, they've been doing this so long. And again, I come over here in 2015, I'm like, what, y'all, it's football. Like, you know, and then you get the fans that come to the games from the company and the people that actually know it within the subculture. It's mind blowing, man. If people can come and see it, if they get the opportunity and they hear this just to come check it out, you know, it's gonna change your opinion on just sports in Japan, because again, you'll see the love and passion that these guys got for it, just like we do in the U.S.
And I see it, man. Like, even, you know, because they don't get, I mean, they get paid from their job, but they don't get paid from the football in aspect of it, unlike the U.S. players, right?
Yeah, the American players get paid because they're on pro contracts, but the Japanese players get paid through the company because they are company employees. And that's a balancing act, man, because again, you start to get, and that was my main goal when I first came over, is to improve the game of Japanese football. You know, to where one day we could say, hey, this guy's going to get a chance to go to the NFL, you know, from a Japanese level to the NFL level. And that's always been my goal, to reach that, to get that to happen, because then I feel like I've done something here.
You're doing something right now, bro.
Hey,
I
man,
mean,
trying.
Since you've been here, I mean, how many people can say that? Like, you know, how many other teams in the X League that has as many rings as you guys, right?
So right now we're still running for, because Obic Seagulls, so there's two, Panasonic Impulse has had major success early on, but in the late 90s, early 2000s, there was a team, Obic Seagulls. They were probably one of the first teams to bring over an American player. Kevin Jackson was one of the guys that came over and was just dominant, you know, and they've had much success. Some of the best Japanese players that went to Obic, and then, you know, the reigns kind of changed a little bit, and now we're on that run, and hopefully we don't teeter out and you know, with the ebbs and flows of everything, but we can keep that run going and keep the success that we've had now on our second head coach, because when I came, we were under Fujita-san was our head coach, and now we've Yo Yamamoto's taken over as a head coach. So we've been through these group of championships with two different head coaches. So I feel like it's going to keep running around, man. Keep going.
I mean, as long as you there, I think you will, dog.
I don't know about that,
over
man.
there, so it's shit, we need you over in the Eagles, because our current OC is a piece of shit.
Nah, that's my boy. Brian's my boy, man.
We shit the bed against the Jets the other week.
B. Johnson, my boy, we used to recruit down in New Orleans together, man. I remember when he was at Utah. And he's a good dude, man. And again, that is just moving pieces in football, man. You gotta, you know, they picked up Julio, and then that O-line and the transition of Swift at running back, and they got you know, you got AJ, who I recruited back. I remember AJ back when I had AJ Brown and DJ Metcalf on a recruiting visit together. Both of them dudes, man. Yeah, we had a recruiting visit with both of them, man. I just kept staring at them like, this is crazy, bro.
These boys is inhuman, bro.
Ole Miss got both of them. You know, you right there by Mississippi, so they got both of those boys down there, man. And the rest is history. So yeah, man, it's all fun and games, man. And they'll get it though. They got too many weapons, and you know, those coaches do a really good job.
They do.
And a lot of those dudes on that staff. I actually know one of the assistant to the head coach. She's a good friend from one of my first jobs. Her and her husband, we were all together. Me and her husband were together, and now he's coaching at a Division III school in the area. But yeah, man, I got a lot of ties to that Eagles team that keep me rolling with them. So yeah.
I got a good friend of mine. He grew up with Brandon Graham. Okay. Actually, he's a teacher over at the base here.
Yep.
So he was trying to get him to come over. Yeah. And Brandon wanted to, but he didn't have time this past summer. Yep. So he was saying next year he's going to get him over. And I was like, man, if you do, please,
you
want
to get the Eagles fans out there,
please,
man.
Please bring him by the shop, bro. I got him for a cut, you know. Get me a jersey somewhere right there.
That's the next thing, man, is trying to get more, because, you know, we had that COVID run where things were just crazy. And now we're back to hopefully getting to some kind of normalcy. But with that, trying to get more of the NFL guys back coming to Japan again. You know, they're doing the game in Germany right now, and they're doing a lot of London. But again, back in the 90s, man, they played NFL games. The Cowboys played out here. Yeah, they played NFL games in the Tokyo Dome.
Really?
Yeah, it was exactly. Nobody ever talks about it.
Wow.
You know, it was
this
one
is
of those
my first
deals,
time
man.
hearing that. Yeah,
there was a bunch of games. One of my close mentors in coaching, Coach Keyman, who's at Colorado now with Dion, he was coaching with the Cowboys at the time, and he said, man, when I first got here, he said, I just remember going over there to Tokyo, and that flight, you know, a lot of our guys were messed up, but they still had a good time, and played the game and then went back. But yeah, that's the bridge I'm trying to get right now, is that bridge between our league in Japan and the NFL. We just shot with your
Jamal,
your cousin, right?
Yeah.
So we shot the
Shout out
NFL,
to Jamal,
Jamal Williams with the Saints.
Yep.
Yeah. So we shot the series with Jamal Williams from the Saints this summer with the NFL Network, and then we got something else. I don't know if I can talk about it right now because I don't know when this is going to air.
Right.
But we got something else coming out with the NFL Network as well. That's going to be a really neat series they're doing on Japanese football.
Okay.
So yeah, man, it's just that the bridge in the gap, because I think the one thing that I've seen with Japanese sports is just like the rugby team when they went to the World Cup, World Rugby World Cup, and they had that success. Japanese followed, man. They jumped on it, bandwagon.
I remember the All Blacks were, man.
Bro,
that was wow. Everybody had those jerseys on.
And so that's kind of my mindset, is like, can I do that same thing with American football? But it has to be, again, for me, it has to be some kind of pride or some kind of relatability for the common public, for them to jump in and say, man, yeah, this might be something I'm interested in. Again, with the Japanese rugby team, they felt a sense of pride because they were part of them. And again, they had a foreign coach.
Right.
The head coach was a foreigner. So again, I think Japanese will embrace different sports that they may not know so much about, if you can involve them and build a sense of pride within that sport and that realm, which again, in that subculture of American football in Japan, we got fans. But I want to make it even bigger. That's ultimately my goal right there.
I think it's 100% possible, man. And with and I want to ask, how many teams is it?
So there's 20. So the X League is crazy. So there's brackets. So there's X1 which is tops division.
Right.
So those are typically the best. Not typically, always the best teams that you're going to get when it comes to just pure football, when it comes to management and all those, because they're going to have GMs and typically everything trickles down into making it a suitable presentation of football. Then there's X2, which typically in X2, those are guys that are teams that are wanting to get to X1, so they combat in X1 or X2, and then that team that wins the championship, they play the worst team in X1, and so it's a switch out.
I think the B League is like that too.
Similar, yeah.
Right?
And then the X3 is kind of us three right now. Hey, we're gonna play football, bro.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it. Like we got Zach. So Zach.
Right. Okay.
So Zach was on the base, reached out, and then Zach is a American who wanted to play football in Japan, and so for him that was an opportunity. So again, these are guys that may have jobs that they can't find the time to go and venture off and play football. So their practice schedule is a little bit difficult. So all those things kind of coincide, but they also still want to get the chance on the weekend to play a game. So that more so what we would call semi-pro in the U.S. But then in X1, there's 20 teams, and then it's divided up into two divisions. So in the top, there's 12 teams in the top, and then 8 in the bottom, right? And in the top teams, out of those 12, we play a playoff system where you got 5 games in the regular season, 2 playoff games, and then the championship game. Our Super Bowl, which nobody,
Rice Bowl.
I don't even
ironically,
it's called a damn Rice Bowl, man. I don't know. I hate telling people call me back from the U.S. We got 6 years in a row I done been there, and I'm like, they be like, what game y'all playing in for the championship, man? Rice Bowl, like, I don't want to tell them, right? Boy, y'all play. Boy, let me tell my daddy, y'all playing the damn Rice Bowl, boy. I can't believe that shit. Boy, the boys got the Japan players got look at Pierre, boy. I know on the Rice Bowl, man.
more Japanese over there.
Yeah, for real. So, but yeah, man, that's just part of the territory, man. But yeah, I wish they would call them the Super Bowl or something. We play in the Rice Bowl, and I'll take it because we get a ring every year. And
they nice too. I done seen it.
Yeah, man, that bonus is nice. That Rice Bowl bonus. So I buy a lot of Rice Bowls with that Rice Bowl bonus, man. So yeah, we just like the NFL, we call the kids, like, we're going to Disney World.
I'm renting it out.
Yeah, man, we're doing it. So, but yeah, so that's kind of how the league structures. And it's been good that way. I think, before they kind of had it to where X2 and X1 were playing each other, and it's just unrealistic games, man. This level of competition is not even there. Those top 12 teams need to kind of stay where they are,
right?
And give the fans a glimpse of what good football is, organized wise. Because again, you got to remember, These guys work during the week, so most teams practice 3 days a week, and then our games are every 2 weeks. So you're getting the same amount of practice time you would in the U.S. on a weekly schedule, but it's just spread out. And then with those games being every 2 weeks, that gives the guys enough time to scout, to do analytics on what's going on with the other teams, and then put a good plan together and put it on the field. So we're just not out there doing BS, and actually giving the fans something they can pay to see. So
I remember you explaining some of the stuff that as far as like plays and whatnot, right? And I was like, man, I'm reading another language. I don't know what none of this means.
Yeah, no, that's part of it, man. And again, a lot of the teams now have gone over and gotten American coaches or players. So the know-how, and again, that's why they want us here. Again, I have some Japanese coaches, I swear to you, and I've told a bunch of my buddies in the NFL this, that can run circles around some of the analytic guys in the U.S. and the NFL.
Oh, wow.
100%. Just because when it comes to the IT part of it, or data analytics and all that, these guys are, they're highly intelligent. But when I think the reason we are here is to give that feel again in sports, to where it's like, hey, you see that meme on TikTok or on Instagram, hit a motherfucker, knock a motherfucker face off, like for real, like that's kind of that mindset of, I'm going to run through that wall and whatever's behind it, I'm hitting that too. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, wow.
Like that kind of feeling of football, man. You know what I'm saying? Like this is again, for a lot of people in the U.S. is life or death. You hear Deion say it all the time recently. I got guys back in Florida, they mama, they dad, this, that. That's part of it. But in Japan, it's more of a happy time. Like I'm going to go, this is my weekend. I'm gonna go play some football.
And they passionate about it.
Passionate about it. But to bring that killer instinct out, you got to know what killer instinct is. You haven't seen that before. And I'm not saying that, as a coach, I've seen players that have had that, and I've brought it out of players. So again, now, how do I do that with a language barrier and a lot of things lost in translation, but the feel for what we're trying to get done, they understand that. When we're talking football, a lot of times, I might not be able to explain it to you in perfect Japanese, but you're going to understand what I'm trying to get you to do. And then if you can see my passion and my emotion for it, then it's going to transition into when you're on the field again, and me behind the white lines and you between the white lines, you're going to be able to put that on the field and what we're trying to get. And I think, again, that's going to allow us to do better.
Yeah. Damn.
Just like that Pro Shield that you got right there,
Speaking of Pro Shield, shout out to Pro Shield. Number one, Shea Glaze. Man, this stuff works wonders. It's gold, man. You got ashy skin, you need it. You got dry hair, you need it, bro.
I need it.
It's Pro Shield, man. P know about it.
I know it.
Yeah, I think, don't you?
Be hooking me up with it, man.
Yeah, man. But it's man, this stuff works wonders, bro. And you can only find it here at Foreign Cut. So give me a holler. Come get yours, man. It's here at the shop. Come get it now because it's gonna be gone soon. So yeah, Pro Shield. What's in your? I remember a while ago, right? You were telling me, man, I got this interview, man. I might go.
Back to the States.
Back to the States and for the Patriots, right? I remember that. And I was like, what? You finna go coach in New England? That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
But then you was like, nah, I ain't gonna do it. I'ma stay. And I was like, man, Pete, bro, I was sad. I was like, man, Pete's leaving, bro. I ain't gonna get to see him, as often. But you're still here. You're still doing your thing. And I think since then, what has it been, like 2 more championships?
Yeah, we won 2 more. Yeah. Well, 3, honestly, because that last one, because we had the COVID year where we kind of fell off, but we don't count that one over in our spot, but the other team does. I won't call them out, but they count it. But we lost one, but the rest is history at that point, so yeah.
Dang, man.
But to answer your question, man, it's funny. I heard you in another interview, you were saying, like, claim it and speak it, and write it down. Yeah, for me, man, honestly, I want that chance to go back and coach in NFL.
Yeah.
I really want to see what that game's about. And now, again, the guys that I've had in the past that I've had in college and coached at that level are now in the NFL to get to that point kind of solidifies everything that I wanted to do in coaching. Honestly, I wanted to mentor. I wanted to recruit. I wanted to win championships. I've done it at a lot of levels now. But that's the one thing I think for me, just to see it at the top level. I think, you know, and again, we've gone every summer, and I visited with different staffs in the NFL, went to the Rams, Chargers, been a bunch of different teams now, and just seeing how it all works and coincides on different organizations, man, and being a part of that, I think that's the next step for me, and ultimately what what I'm gonna claim and speak into existence. Yeah.
I think it's gonna happen, bro.
Yeah,
I'm gonna see you on TV. Like, hey, I know that dude right there.
Yeah, be at the game, man. Come
yeah,
on.
Well, shit. Yeah, I'll be at the game. I know you be at the box. Like, hey, come on.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but right now, you know, again, everything's in process and embracing and enjoying the process. So for me, ultimately, the goal right now is to win this game we have coming up and advance through the playoffs and then solidify another championship with the guys that we have. And then, you know, enable this next group of Japanese players to inherit a team that is where we started off, and that's winning the championship every year, man. Right. And I think that's the thing, is as long as you can create that mentality of championship mindset and the energy that it brings year in and year out, it stays, it's sustainable, but it's also freaking hard, man, to maintain that, because again, motivation-wise, even for me, you know, I got to always click back into myself and say, hey, come on now, think about the feeling that you had when you didn't win it, you know, and that you have to find ways to motivate yourself as well as the team as a coach, and that keeps it, you know, keeps it fun on the front end. So yeah.
Damn, that's a real blessing. Pete.
Yeah, man.
That shit is a real blessing, man. Well, I appreciate you coming on, man, and having this chat with me, dog.
For sure.
We always talking, man.
Yeah.
You know, I'll see you probably sometime this week.
Yeah, for sure.
This your last season game?
This is the last regular season game that we'll advance into the playoff season. Yeah,
okay.
And then
that's 2 games, right?
2 games, yeah, 2 games to get it in the Tokyo Dome. And again, for us, it's cool because the Tokyo Dome is the host of the championship game, and you know, the last couple of years has been pretty fun event because again, they do it just like the Super Bowl, the halftime show, and you know, it's just man.
We was there.
Man.
We
it's a fun deal. So I'm excited, man, that we can finish this one tomorrow, advance through the playoffs, and be where we need to be in that championship.
Tomorrow's game is a home game?
No, we're in Yokohama. So we'll be in Yokohama tomorrow. It's 11 kickoff. I don't know why they did that, but yeah, we'll go handle business, man, and get you back to the championship.
Yeah, I'm in there. You know it, man.
Yeah,
you know it.
Yeah.
But before we go, man, did you have any shout outs? You want to shout anybody out? Or?
Man, the squad, man, everybody over here at Fujitsu. Trayshawn,
T-Nix,
T-Nix, JoJo, Adi, Coach Kev, Coach Greg, Coach Dave, Bronson. We just brought Bronson over from Oak, so he family now. Trying to think, all the family back in Alabama, Dothan, Atlanta. Yeah, man, just everybody, man, and anybody that watches, you know, again, all the people that we have in common.
Yeah.
You know, been watching, saw Romel, you know, all these guys that came on the show.
He came earlier today, man.
Yeah.
He tell you what's up, man.
Yeah, tell me what's up, man. But yeah, just everybody, man, just all good people like, man, and you know, hopefully this thing over in the Middle East right now clears up too, man.
Yeah.
So got a bunch of Palestinian friends, and you know, shout out to them, and peace with all my Muslim friends over there in Palestine, man, and the folks in Gaza going through it. But you know, again, got a bunch of Jewish friends too, so gotta, you know,
come to some terms, man. Stop this shit,
because it's crazy right now. So
we don't need that.
Yeah.
All right, man. Well, like I said, appreciate you, bro.
Yeah, bro, appreciate you, man.
See you again, and y'all already know, man. It's been another episode, and as I always say, Foreign Cuts Forever.